Alright, hey YouTubers, this is my first battle for the Elite Pokemon Battlers. In case you don't know me, I'm BlazinKickinChicken, and this is a match against Shiny Entei 95. I lead over there Dackle, he leads on the Swampert. The taunt is way too obvious, and if I just go for rocks and taunt, he's just gonna Ice Beam, taunt and then rocks. He's just gonna go for Ice Beam twice and kill me off, and I don't like using Aerodactyl like that. So I'm gonna lay up rocks as he Ice Beams to break my sash, and trick him into thinking I don't have taunt, then I taunt on his Stealth Rock, which is perfect because now I can send in Scarm and get at least one layer of spikes up and maybe save Aerodactyl for a revenge kill or a death fodder later. So one layer of spikes is all it takes to rip a team apart, so I get my one layer and that's pretty much all I'm gonna need. But you know, if I'm gonna get a chance to get more layers up, why not? So anyways, since there are no rocks, then Gyarados can come in for free against his Heatran and not take any damage at all, and he goes for Earth Power, which is like all good and stuff. And now I'm gonna predict the switch in Roar, and basically spikes. If your Pokemon is neutral to Stealth Rock, one layer of spikes and a hit from Stealth Rock is the equivalent to super effective Stealth Rock hit. So anyways, predict the switch in Swampert, Roar, and he goes into Scizor. So I go for a Waterfall here, figuring he'd predict the taunt and go for like a superpower, but no, he goes back into Pert. So I figured, why not? I'm just gonna Waterfall again, because he's just gonna lay up rocks. So I'm gonna go for another Waterfall here. By the way, the song is Slam by Pendulum. So I flinched the Swampert here, which, you know, kind of mattered. Well, it didn't matter really, because he said he roared, and any one of my Pokemon would have been able to kill him from that point. Skarmory, Gengar, Infernape, Flygon, I forget who. I don't remember my whole team off the top of my head. But anyways, he goes into his Flygon, and I'm like, oh, see, this is where Aerodactyl being Death Fodder is actually helpful. Because they're all Scarf, so I'm just going to check out what he wants to do. So, I know he's locked on Stone Edge, because all Flygons are Scarf. So, I predict the switch into Heatran, trying to come in to absorb my U-turn, and I go for the Earthquake, which actually works out really good, because he's going to send in his Scizor, and he barely oh, wait, I can't curse in these. Well, I try to keep the cursing to a minimum. I was about to swear there, but you know, I held myself back. I'm good. Anyways, I go to Gara because I figured, oh, he's banded. He's gonna Bullet Punch. I can just get a rest off and recover that Stealth Rock damage. But he's Life Orb, so I'm like, oh, Sword Dance. Well, whatever. Flygon comes back, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna predict my switch into Flygon because it's pretty obvious. And people usually the second time around will overpredict. And I freaking love taking advantage of that. Works out perfectly here. He goes for Outrage. I live with a pretty decent amount, and I'm going to live Stealth Rock hit so I can come and get an Intimidate later. Get a nice hit with Waterfall, and now that he's locked into Outrage, I'm going to be able to go into Scarm. So 2 or 3 turn Outrage, I really don't care. He gets 3 turn Outrage, but all that's really going to get me is an extra layer of spikes. So right now he's going to switch. He's not going to stay in an Outrage. So I'm going to Whirlwind again, and then just like cause havoc with my many entry hazards. So a Tokus comes in. I'm like, oh sweet, I know now 5-year pokes. Well, actually I killed one, or I killed some stuff, and I see another, and I actually now know all of his team that I haven't killed. Actually, I know the stuff that I've killed, but you know, whatever. I know everything he's got left now. So, yeah, Whirlwind, Weavile, he actually predicts my Roost and Focus Punch, and I'm like, oh, man, that was a nice move. But, even though this is a special defensive Skarmory, I'm still impish, and, thank God for that, because otherwise I would have gotten raped. So, he makes another good move here, and, goes for a Substitute, as I switch into Gara. But I do get the Intimidate off, which is great, and I'm just gonna die, but you know, whatever, he's behind a sub, but, you know, I can deal with this. Anyways, so I send an Infernape, and he's gonna go for Focus Punch, and I just go for a U-turn to break the sub, because now with the Intimidate, he can't want to kill me with anything, not even like freaking Aerial Ace. So now that I see he's Focus Punch, I'm going to go into Gengar to block it. And that's great, because I know he doesn't have Pursuit. I saw the Night Slash to kill Gara. He wouldn't have Night Slash and Pursuit. So I'm just going to switch back into Infernape on that. So right now, I'm just going to Mach Punch to not take any extra damage from, like, Ice Punch freeze, I don't know. But yeah, Mach Punch will finish that Weavile off. So, Flygon comes back, and Mach Punch isn't going to kill it at that health, unfortunately. So, I'm going to Death Fodder Gengar, but he goes for Stone Edge, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can just go to Flygon, and I freaking live, and I'm like, whoa. So, I send in my Ace Pilot, which is not my nickname. So, anyways, whatchamacallit. He goes into the Togekiss, I U-turn, expecting Switch, obviously. And in this case, I don't want to Outrage, because, 1, he's got Heatran, 2, his Flygon can just revenge me and shit. So, U-turn will just scope out a Switch, and I'm just playing the same song over, because if I change songs, then, computer will lag and stuff. So anyways, go to Gengar, finish him off with a T-Bolt, and, stuff is good. So now it goes back to Flygon. I'm just gonna let Gengar die, because, it's obviously Scarfed, so I'm just gonna see what he locks himself into, and he goes for Outrage, and I'm like, oh, hell yes, go Skarmory. Now you may be thinking, dude, you're gonna die. And I'm like, I actually thought I was going to die. Just had to risk it. Look, with 10 freaking HP, and I'm gonna kill it off with Braver, which is fantastic. So, he's only got 1 poke left, and I've got 2, and it's a Heatran. I'm assuming it's Scarfed, because I haven't seen an item, I haven't seen Lefties, I haven't seen Life Orb. Well, no, if I had seen Lefties, then I would have seen it, because stuff earlier. So I'm just gonna Mach Punch, even if he's not Scarfed. And then whatever, I got Flygon, so, don't kill him with Mach Punch, whatever. And, he takes me out with an Earth Power. Turns out he's Life Orbs, but, you know, whatever. So, I'm just going to send in Flygon and kill him off with an Outrage. So, that was a great game, Shiny Entei. Check out my channel, check out his channel. Sub to Elite Pokemon Battlers if you haven't. Catch you guys next time. Peace.